I've done it this time. I filled up my shop, and I have a tiny shop, with a 12 feet by 5 feet walnut table. It's been sun faded. It's kind of an antique. I'm not sure how old it is, but it's been sun faded, and a friend of mine gave it to me to partially restore. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sand it all the way down and put a new coat of stain on it, and then 3 or 4 coats of poly, and get it back to them. But this is a big restoration for me, just due to the fact that I got such a tiny shop. But I'm sure I can get it done, so stick around and see how well it goes. All right, here we go. This is what I mean by the sun faded. This is the walnut top. And you can tell how light it is on the skirt and the legs. Same with this leg here. Kind of goes all the way around. But let's see if we can get this back to one solid walnut color. So here we go. Okay, so after wiping this down, this is not a walnut table. This is mahogany. This is a piece of mahogany that I had, and it's identical. So I apologize for the starting of it, but we're gonna go with mahogany. That's what I think it is. All right, I'm gonna keep on sanding. It's been sanded to 80 grit. And I don't know if you can tell, but this first leaf, or this first side, is a different color. So what's happened was, previously, someone has stained this to a walnut, and now it doesn't match because the walnut stain has absorbed into the wood. So what I'm going to try to do is draw that stain out by using a stripper and some denatured alcohol. I'm going to try to continue to draw that out to actually get it to match the rest of the tabletop. So we'll work on that for a little bit. Here we go. Okay, so I've wiped it down. Hurricane Debbie is coming through, so it's about 95% humidity in here, so I'm gonna turn this guy on here, because we can't do nothing with it until it gets dried up. 86% humidity. See what the wall says. Yep, 86. All right, we're gonna let it dry for about 24 hours. Just wipe down, hopefully all the dust is settled, and we can get started staining it. day. Been running all night, 58% humidity. What I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna scrape this first and get all the fuzzies off. And then once I finish scraping, these two end pieces are giving me a fit. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna poly these with a thin coat of polyurethane. I'm gonna do a thin coat of polyurethane mixed with mineral spirit to thin it down as thin as I can. And then I'm going to come back and stain those to match the two ends, because for some reason both end pieces are turning out darker and I don't want to stain them because I want to try to keep it as natural as possible. So, all right, here we go. Start the scraping. I think I figured it out. So this one to the left has no stain, just a little streak of mineral spirit on it. The one to the right has a natural stain on it, just one coat. And I think it blended pretty well. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna coat the 4 leaves with natural stain, and I'm gonna leave the 2 end ones without any stain on them, because they're so much darker. The contrast is pretty strong, and I'm going to try to keep it the same, but I believe this will work. All right, here we go. Okay, next I'm going to thin this out. This polyurethane, it's fast drying. I'm going to thin it with this mineral spirit in this little baby food container that I have. Try to reduce all the bubbles that I can. Lightly stirring. This is just the first coat. I want it real thin so I can get it absorbed into all of the wood. And I've got a brand new brush that I'm going to be using also. Get this stirred up and we'll put it on. Okay, so this is the side I'm most worried about. But I'm going to go ahead and put this first coat of thinned out polyurethane, and then we'll let it dry and see if it matches. It looks like it's going to match pretty well on that opposite side, but this side was just a little bit darker, so we'll give it a shot. Here we go. All right, so I have 1 full coat of polyurethane over the entire thing, and now I'm going to get started sanding with 400 grit sandpaper. It's cured overnight. The dehumidifier was on about 56% humidity in here, which is good for curing. Just going to start sanding and apply the next coat of poly. Here we go. This is 4/0 steel wool. This will be the final sanding before I put my final coat of poly on it. So go ahead and rub this down with 4/0 and see what happens. Here we go.